Good afternoon. Thank you for joining IBIE's Booth Package Overview webinar. My name is Ingrid Kwongs, and I am the IBIE's Trade Show Manager. Also presenting today will be Dan Steenstrom with Freeman to review material handling. This is the 5th webinar in the Exhibitor Education Series, designed to help you be successful at IBIE. All webinars will be recorded and posted to bakingexpo.com so that you can reference them at another time. A few housekeeping notes. Before we get started, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the GoToWebinar dashboard. On this slide, it shows available widgets to you. I would like to remind everyone that all attendees are muted, and if you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to type them in the questions box here on where I'm scrolling on the screen. Any troubleshooting comments can be shared in the chat widget, and someone from the IBIE team will get back with you. This webinar is recorded and will be posted again on bakingexpo.com under Exhibitors and then Resources and Webinars. The next slide, we're going to talk about the agenda. Today, we're going to go over your IBIE booth package and what's included. So the first item we're going to discuss is 20% discount to your customers. Can someone please mute your line? I'm sorry about that. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to review the 20% discount to your customers, booth cleaning, complementary badges, complementary lead retrieval, material handling, advanced and direct to show site, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end. The first thing I want to talk about is the Exhibitor Console. The Exhibitor Console is the main resource for exhibitors. So majority of the information that I will be reviewing with you today can be found in your Exhibitor Console. So I would like to just share with you how to log in to your Exhibitor Console, because you would need to bookmark this so that you have easy access to getting to your console. So first you can go to bakingexpo.com. Go to Exhibitors, Resources and Webinars, and the first option is Exhibitor Console. You click on Exhibitor Console, and in the console, we have a lot of resources here. We also have a recorded webinar on our website that takes you through each widget and how to utilize it. But for today's webinar, I just wanted to reference how to log into your Exhibitor Console, because we will be using this for majority of our webinar, and I will be referencing a lot of information that's in this console. Okay. All right. The next slide, we're going to talk about the 20% discount. IBIE is offering a 20% discount to exhibitors to offer to their customers. As an IBIE exhibitor, you can offer a 20% discount for exhibit hall pass to your customers. Your customers should use the URL provided to register themselves with the code. This discount link will take your customer directly into registration with this code automatically applied. It's a user-friendly experience, and this code is valid through the end of the show. To access the discount code, please log into your Exhibitor Console and click on the Extend 20% discount to your customers. The next slide, we're going to review information about what's also included in your booth package: booth cleaning and vacuuming. Daily vacuuming of booth carpet and once nightly trash pickup in the evening for all exhibitors is included in your booth fee. This does not include any carpet shampooing, porter service, or general janitorial services. If you would like to order additional services, you can access your exhibitor services manual and order directly from Freeman. There is a booth cleaning form in the exhibitor services manual as well. Our next agenda item are complementary badges. So new this year, we have new formula for badge allotments. Exhibitors are provided 3 complimentary exhibitor badges per 150 square foot of exhibit space purchased, with a minimum of 3 badges per company. What's also new this year is that badges will not be mailed. And I know in the past we've done it at IBIE for many show cycles that we've actually mailed the badges. We will not mail the badges for IBIE 2022. Badges can be picked up on site by the official booth contact or by the individual booth personnel. Once a badge is printed, it will not be reprinted. The designated contact and booth personnel may be asked to show an ID or business card when picking up the badges. The next agenda item we're going to review is the complimentary lead retrieval. To order your complimentary lead retrieval, log into your Exhibitor Console. And actually, I'm going to just walk you through it again this time so that you can see how to log in. So we can just go to bakingexpo.com, exhibitors, resources, click on Exhibitor Console. Oops. There we go. I'll log in a password. Okay. Then you can click on Exhibitor Badge Registration. It's loading up here. Here it identifies the formula again for badge allotment. And then down here, you can order your free lead retrieval. So you can click on free lead retrieval. It shows you the options over here. You have the swap mobile app option, the handheld badge scanner, or the tablet scanner. You would click on order your lead retrieval, and then you would close out of your cart and use Baker 22 Comp. So we'll go to the next screen. And this is just telling you more detailed information about the options to choose from. And then here's where you would add your option, either the swap or the handheld badge scanner or the tablet, and you would add it to your cart and then use the code. Okay, so we'll log out of there. Okay, so now we're going to go to critical dates. Right now, our next upcoming critical dates, May 5th. May 5th, please join us in Las Vegas for our in-person exhibitor briefing. During our exhibitor briefing, you'll get a chance to tour the North and West Halls and the Tesla Convention Center Loop and meet with some of our vendor supplier partners. We'll also share information and updates and reminders and tips to help you prepare for IBIE. So we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas on May the 5th. If you have any questions in regards to the exhibitor seminar, or I'm sorry, exhibitor briefing, please email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com. The next date is June the 13th. This is the booth construction diagram layout or rendering. These are due to IBIE show management. You can also submit your diagrams or any questions through your Exhibitor Console. This applies to island, peninsula, and split island booths that are 400 square feet and larger. If you have any questions, again, please let us know, but we must review your booth diagrams before going on site, and the deadline is June 13th. Our next critical date is June the 29th for the official IBIE printed on-site show directory and the retailer's guidebook. You are going to go into your Exhibitor Console. I'm going to reference this Exhibitor Console quite a bit because this is where you will find majority of your information and resources and your to-dos in the Exhibitor Resources console. So on June 29th at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, IBIE will pull all of the data for the printed show directory and retailer's guide that we will print and have available for our attendees on site. This date and time is extremely important for all exhibitors to go in and update their information. There is a webinar that we've recorded already in the Exhibitor Console that's saved on the website under Exhibitor Resources that you could use as a reference to walk you through exactly what needs to be updated. And also additional reminders will come out as well in regards to the official printed piece. And then last, August 10th is the Freeman's discount deadline date. Make sure you submit all of your orders directly to Freeman in order to have that advanced discount rate. Up next is Dan Steenstrup. Dan will be reviewing our material handling booth package. Dan is the Executive Vice President of Client Relationships with Freeman. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Ingrid. We're very excited once again to be the official service contractor for IBIE 2022. Today we want to review an important aspect of exhibiting at IBIE 2022, material handling. Next slide, please. Obviously, it's been a tough couple years for the events industry, but we are making great progress. Over the last 6 months, we've produced hundreds of events, including CES in Las Vegas. This particular photo is a shot of the new West building, which we're very excited to be working in. We've had several shows there, and it's really a great building, along with the North Hall for IBIE 2022. We've been working very hard to ramp up like all companies. We're making great progress with our labor partners, and our resources in general are pretty much up to speed. So we're very excited to move forward with IBIE. Next slide, please. As you may recall, the IBIE committee and leadership made a package for material handling in 2019. It was very successful. As a matter of fact, we had about 20% increase in the amount of equipment and machinery that came into IBIE, which is great for the show. Most attendees that come to a trade show are there to see new equipment, innovation, and network. So it was a very successful package. What we did learn is that we needed a little bit more time and resources to accommodate it. So we've got a couple of enhancements for this year. For 2022, we'll actually have an extra day of move-in, which is going to really help us tremendously. We also noticed that on the outbound, there was a lot of waiting time. So we've created a targeted move-out schedule that we'll be reviewing with you so that you can know exactly when to pick up your materials at the conclusion of the show. Next slide, please. We wanted to walk through the process of material handling. There's several options for you, and we'll review those as we go through this. But in advance of the show, the pre-show work, you can ship your materials to the Freeman warehouse in advance, and we will have those at your booth prior to your target time and date. The deadline for advance receiving is July 12th. We've actually increased that by nearly a month to accommodate a lot of exhibitors who are having trouble with shipping. So you have extra time, and the deadline then is September 7th. So anytime between July 12th and September 7th, you can ship to the warehouse all of your materials, and they will be in your booth prior to your target time. Direct to show site, we'll go through the target schedule. Next slide, please. For those of you who choose to ship directly to the hall, you'll check in at the marshalling yard on your assigned target date. Then we'll be given paperwork, your driver will be given paperwork and get in line to get unloaded. Carriers are called up to the window card when the dock space is available for unloading. The way we target the show, it's pretty much the front of the hall to the back. So it's pretty much organized that way. And as you check in, the first to check in will get priority treatment. Freeman Teamsters will unload your materials and deliver to designated locations per labels and paperwork. So just make sure you have labels on all of your pieces. When scheduling labor to install your booth, please allow enough time for your freight to be delivered. So for instance, if you have a 10 a.m. Target time and date, I wouldn't schedule labor before noon. We allow 2 to 4 hours from your target time to get everything unloaded. So please keep that in mind. Freeman then stores your empty containers as you tag them for the return. And again, advanced shipments will be delivered to your booth on your target date and time. Next slide, please. As we mentioned, the move out is sometimes overlooked and critical. At the close of the show, Freeman will deliver all of your empty containers once the aisle carpet has been pulled from the floor. Exhibitors are required to fill out a material handling agreement form once they are all packed up and ready to be loaded out. Carriers are to check into the marshalling yard, the same marshalling yard they checked in on the inbound. This is a check-in time, not freight loading. So you'll have a target time, and we'll show you those in a moment. So know exactly when you need to check in so your driver's not there more than they need to be. And then obviously once we generate the MHA, you'll get, again, the driver will get in line and Teamsters will load the materials out to the designated location. We mentioned the target plans, and let me just show you those real quick. The first one is the inbound plan for the West Hall. You'll be able to see these in the Freeman online kit for your specific target date and time. This is the move-in schedule for the West Hall, which, as I mentioned, what we do is we try to schedule exhibits in closer to the front of the hall and move towards the back dock so that we have the best possible logistics move in. And then we also have the North Hall targeted. Next slide, please. Same theory there. And you can see that the red aisles are no freight aisles, so we'll be keeping those clear to have access to both get your freight in and remove empties. And then the next slides, the next two are the move out schedule. This is new for 2022. We've instituted a target move out plan, again, so that you can plan accordingly and have minimal driver waiting time, which is costly. So we behoove you to understand and know these plans for your individual booths. And then we also did the same for the North Hall. As I mentioned, the target plan is designed around the location of your booth in proximity to the dock. We are very flexible on this. Obviously, we're not going to block up the back dock area. But if you do need to make a change, the next slide, there's a form in the Freeman online kit. All you need to do is go to this form and fill it out. Please do that by August 10th, and we will make every effort to accommodate your requests. One of our supervisors will get back to you once you submit that form in. Next slide. In addition, this year, we're going to be launching a survey, which is critical to the advanced planning process. We really want to understand exactly what you're bringing in so that we're prepared with the right equipment on site, and we'll coordinate with you directly. As I mentioned, advanced freight is highly recommended, and thanks to the IBIE committee and leadership, that is now included in your booth package. So advanced receiving and direct shipments are both covered in your booth package. So we highly recommend, encourage everyone to ship if they can in advance. That helps us greatly by reducing congestion at the dock. The only items that we do not accept at the warehouse would be loose materials and any uncrated machinery. Those would need to come directly to the hall. As mentioned, all of the Freeman forms have a deadline date, August 10th. In addition to being the warehouse deadline date, is also the deadline date for advanced pricing for rental items. So please keep that in mind. Next slide, please. I mentioned the survey questionnaire. This is also in the Freeman online kit, but we will be sending an email with this next week as well. Our Freeman team then, once they receive the survey back from you, they will review all of your needs and call you to double check, make sure you understand your target time, your labor required. So it's really important if you could fill this survey out for us. We will then be contacting folks that need help upon receipt of that request, or if we don't hear from you, our team will be reaching out starting in July. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, once we get on site, we have an extra day this year, which is going to greatly help us, especially with the heavy machinery exhibitors. All the surveys and calls in advance will help us to make sure we have the right equipment in place for you. We also are able to then coordinate your utilities, your carpet, and work with your EAC, your exhibitor appointed contractor, to ensure that we're all aligned and you have a smooth, orderly move-in. This year, we have, with the additional equipment that we received in 2019, we are also going to be bringing in additional supervision for machinery rigging, and just an overall more robust supervisory plan. Lastly, safety and security are always a top priority. So please be careful as you work within your booth and walk the show floor. The last thing I wanted to point out that we are seeing an uptick in interest in rental exhibits because so much has changed over the last 2 years. Many companies are looking at options. Freeman does offer a full range of exhibit rental solutions, turnkey packages, as well as custom design exhibits. The next slide, you're receiving an email from us with more information on rental exhibits if you are interested. That will be actually coming out after this webinar today on April 13th. Thank you, Ingrid. That's all we have for material handling and rental exhibits. We're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dan. Fantastic review. Buffy, do we have any questions from our audience?
We do. Hi, everybody. This is Buffy Levy. I'm the trade show director for IBIE, and we have quite a few questions. So I'm going to share them. Some are for Ingrid, some are for Dan, and let's see if we can get through hopefully all of them. The first question is, where will badges be picked up?
Badges will be picked up in registration in the West Hall on the 2nd floor.
And then there's a question, I'm not, it says, what is the deadline for this? And I think that was referring to the 20% off discount.
So the deadline is literally up until the last day of the show.
Okay, perfect. And then we have a few of the same question asking, and I can answer this, says, can we purchase an additional license of the Swap app if needed? If there are more than 3 users, what do we do? So yes, the 3 will come complimentary, and you can purchase additional as many as you need, and that form is in the kit. So there's no limit, it's just a limit on how many you will get for free. Okay. Where can I find my Exhibitor Console login information?
You can email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com and we could email you that information.
Also, an update on the question about where will badges be picked up. So Ingrid mentioned the West Hall on the 2nd level, but also on move-in days, we will have an exhibitor reg area set up in the North Hall as well. So you'll be able to get them there too. Okay, I
Great,
think now
we're
moving on to questions for Dan. For move out, I'm not sure if a target day is happening on the weekend, but they're basically asking, could one company be targeted for a weekend day and pay overtime while another company is targeted for a weekday and they don't have to pay overtime? Will this be an issue?
No, it will not be an issue. We've factored that into the package price, so there'll be no overtime for targeted freight.
Right. Everybody has paid for all their material handling regardless of when it's in and out. So that's
Correct.
That's great.
Great question.
Dan, if the show ends on Wednesday, but our move out date is not until Saturday, do we need to have someone at the hall on our exit date?
Not for, once you're packed up and you turn your material handling form in, you do not. As long as your driver is aware and has the proper information, we can work directly with your driver.
Okay, I missed where can we find the target move-in and move-out plans? Can you please restate that?
Yes, they are located in the IBIE service manual under Freeman. Be happy to help you with that. If you're having an issue with that, you can contact us and we'll send that over to you.
And we also have them listed on the Baking Expo website under exhibitors and then under exhibitor resources.
Awesome. Because yeah, that's probably the easiest way to find them quickly is there. Will we be able to get our outbound material handling paperwork before the last day of the show? I may have new staff handling move out and I'd like to help them before I leave with the paperwork.
Yes, you can get that information. We just ask that you do not turn your material handling in form in until you're fully packed.
I was told that our product shipments do not need to arrive on the target date. Is this correct?
It is correct. The targeted date is for your exhibit materials, machinery. Product can come in at your own discretion.
So Dan, can you, when you say product, that refers to the baked goods? Is that what when you're talking
yes,
about that?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Anything that's that's perishable.
Yeah, and sometimes also like giveaways. Some people might be shipping in some giveaways that might come in, and we're not going to charge off target for that. It's just really trying to get your main exhibit in on the target date. Product and giveaways are exceptions. For instance, if you ship a FedEx box and it comes in after your target date, there's not going to be an issue there, but we need to make sure your main shipment is in on your target date and time.
There were 2 advanced warehouse deadlines stated. Is it September 7th or September 8th? Actually, it's before.
That's the last day for receiving at the warehouse.
Is it the 7th or the 8th?
Yeah. I have it the 7th, so.
Okay. So Suzanne, it's the 7th. For the free one-time clean of vacuum and trash, is this done in the evening?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, Ingrid, some of these are back for you. When will the exhibitor service kit be available? When will it be sent to us?
The Exhibitor Services Manual Kit is currently in the Exhibitor Console. So if you log into the Exhibitor Console, the link is there and it will take you directly to all of our vendor partners to order what you need to have a successful IBIE show.
And again, Ingrid, as you said before, if you do not have your login information, you can email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com and we can help you with getting into the manual for the first time.
Yes.
What is the cost for additional badges?
$85 per additional badge above your complimentary allotment.
And I will add that the comp allotment badges, they give you access to the show floor. But if you or anyone on your team is interested in attending any of our educational sessions, there's additional charge for that based on the number of sessions that you attend. You can also do that through the registration site as well. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. If we have a mezzanine on our booth, is the engineering drawing for this also due on June 13th?
Yes, and what happens is we review it as IBIE show management, and then we send it over officially to LVCC to give their final approval, and then we'll circle back with that exhibitor for 2 approvals, one from IBIE and one from LVCC, the Las Vegas Convention Center. We'll need to review any multi-levels booth diagrams.
Where can I find the past webinars?
The past webinars can be found on bakingexpo.com, select exhibitors, and then there's a drop down for exhibitor resources in webinars.
Okay, and I think our last question. So if our move-in date is Tuesday the 13th, if our driver is there, Freeman will make sure our items get to our booth. Does someone need to sign for it, or we can arrive on Thursday to set up our booth?
You can arrive on Thursday. Your items will be in your booth.
Okay, here's another one. If one of our exhibitors is speaking, will they have a different badge, or do we have to pay for that one?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I don't believe speakers pay for their badge. But Melanie, Ingrid and I will research that. We'll talk to the right person because neither of us are.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
yes.
Hey,
yes.
so to answer the question, hello everyone, about the speaker badges, no, they'll have the same exhibitor badge. Their badge will just be coded that they can get into that session that they're speaking in.
Thank you, Sam.
Welcome.
Okay, those are all the questions. We had some good ones. Everyone's listening. I like to see that. Okay, Ingrid, I'll turn it back to you because at this point we don't have more questions, but if anyone thinks of anything after this, feel free to email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com and we will be happy to answer whatever you have.
Great. Thank you, Buffy. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Dan. Thank you all for attending. And this webinar will be recorded and we'll post it on our bakingexpo.com website. Thank you all for joining and have a great day.